Just think about that. Anthropic is moving from an AI model provider to a full stack product company. Which product category is next? What are we going to see? Security? Design? What's next? Hello, welcome to our podcast. Today we're going to talk about news from Anthropic in April 2026. We're going to talk about Mythos and we're going to talk about Claude Design. Now, Mythos is a new model that's being released only to a few dozen companies, handpicked for testing. It's a model that understands cybersecurity and is able to find vulnerabilities and exploit them in networks and systems. And it's very powerful. So, the AI Security Institute from the British government conducted an assessment, and we're going to look at here some of the results of these assessments. So, let's go on. My name is Helio Pereira. I am the head of business development at Big Stack, and I have had a career in automation, systems, project management, process improvement, and now I am at Big Stack, which focus on AI, data, and software engineering. Let's go. Okay, now let's go a little bit back in history. In 2023, the models could not really address cyber tasks. Cyber tasks is a generic term, but in this context, it refers to security tasks, network performance, in measures like that in the security arena. But then in 2025, we already had an improvement of 73% success rate in the models as far as cyber tasks goes. And now in April 26, we have full autonomous network attacks being conducted by a model. Now, let's really emphasize the word here autonomous, because the level of autonomy of these models is getting higher and higher. And autonomy means that a model can even choose its objectives and pursue them and implement new things and put new processes in action and really affect our environment. So that's why Anthropic and its partners have been so careful about these models, because if it gets in the wrong hands, harm can be done. So let's look at some of the results that they got from this assessment. So the status today is that Mythos can execute multi-stage attacks. It can discover vulnerabilities autonomously, and it takes just a few minutes instead of days of work from a professional. There is a competition called Capture the Flag, right? In 2025, 0 models completed this challenge. Now, Mythos has a 73% success rate in this challenge that requires very deep technical knowledge. That's amazing. The last ones is a type of test that measures the cyber capability, and it simulates a real corporate network attack that has many different steps, and it takes about 20 hours from a human expert to execute. So Mythos is the first model to complete the TLO, start to finish. And see, the average is 22 steps completed. Claude Opus 4.6, 16, and earlier frontier models just could not even address this issue here. It's amazing. So there is a qualitative capability threshold that has been achieved here. Now, the Institute has this caveat saying that they are not sure if Mythos Preview could be able to attack well defended systems with all the guardrails and security configurations in place, but it is likely that less well defended systems can be vulnerable to these attacks. Now, in theory, if Mythos Preview can discover vulnerabilities, it can also suggest fixes and even generate them and implement them. But it can also be used to attack potentially, use a vulnerability to exploit something, to enter a system, to change some data. So that's what is so um, alarming about this possibility. I can also think of our progress towards artificial general intelligence and this capability of autonomously make decisions and pursue actions. It's an amazing characteristic that we're going to follow closely. And, there is a need, an evident, very clear need for establishing guardrails among companies, among governments, to have some control, to have some regulation, I would say, about these capabilities because of the level of autonomous behavior that is increasing. We need to keep that on check. So, what to do in this scenario where these models are more and more capable? Others will come besides Anthropic, of course. And we have some very simple action steps we can take. We just have to take them. Regular security updates. We have to patch every system, install the latest updates, check our access control, security configurations. Some, a tech stack can be made of, usually is made of several different tools in different layers. And we have to check if the security configuration is not left as the default that came with the system. We need to check that. And also the logging anomalies, the keep on need to keep a track of what is of these anomalies and really watch them as much as possible or 100% of the time. So these are four action steps we can take to create more robust systems and networks as far as security goes. We need to keep an eye on these updates. We need to invest in cyber defense as an existential element. I think there will be more investment, more attention, more resources dedicated to this area because the context has changed. The capabilities have changed, and we're not used to having this sort of security threat. This is a new security threat. Um, and I think this segment is going to grow. Now, here is a practical example at Mozilla that says Mythos helped them fix 271 Firefox bugs. Firefox, as you know, is an open source browser that has been around for what? Almost 3 decades. And it's a well supported system. It's being developed every year, new updates. It's a popular browser. 271 bugs. How many of these bugs represent security threats to your personal data, for example? So they describe as a profound impact on the industry. These legacy systems, decades, we have many of them. The systems that run banks, money transfers, airlines reservations, hotel reservations. Some of these systems, some of these systems are, you know, very old. They're written in very old languages like Fortran, COBOL, stuff like that. And sometimes they are not very well documented, and it's hard to maintain and support. So this ability to find these vulnerabilities in these huge systems is really amazing. And I agree with Mozilla. It's a profound effect. Now let's talk about Claude Design, which is a new model dropped by Anthropic very recently. Um, it's it's an amazing tool because it replaces a whole category. Claude Design produces visual output, prototypes, presentations, reports, one pages, full design, uh, and in works via prompts. Tell it what you need. You don't have to be a designer. You don't need any other tools. And the output, the quality, and the completeness and the harmony of the output is amazing, ready to ship. So, what is happening here? It's There is a whole category of tools and software and companies that provide just a myriad of tools in this area, and this whole category has been replaced by one AI model now. And if the markets indicate things, this is one of them. The market signaled this event by a 7.28% in drop of Figma stock. Adobe shares also dropped. And Anthropic CTO was a board member at Figma, resigned 3 days before launch. So we're talking about a $60 billion design market that wasn't warned. It just received an announcement, and it's potentially very much affected. Very much affected. Just think about that. Anthropic is moving from an AI model provider to a full stack product company. Which product category is next? What are we going to see? Security? Design? What's next? And how will this change the software tool, the software as a service industry? Very interesting things to follow. Very interesting, this market dynamics happening. And it's good to be alive in these exciting times. I hope to see you next time. Thank you very much.